Right. If I can have everyone's attention, we'll continue our availability. We now welcome Kevin Harvick, driver of the number 29 Ream Chevrolet. Currently sits sixth in points, but probably the most important job and way to describe it now is new dad. Tell us what this last week's been like.
Yeah. No, it's been a crazy week, to tell you the truth. It all started in Daytona, as everybody knows. But yeah, we went in and you know, she did a great job and had a baby within about 2 hours. Dad waited a little long to get her to the hospital, so I was obviously not her favorite person, as we told her that they told her that they wouldn't give her an epidural. So she did good. She had it all natural, no drugs or nothing, and had a healthy baby boy, and that was the most important part. So everybody's good and at home and doing normal things.
You're getting some sleep?
Yeah, the sleeping pattern is different for sure, but we're fortunate to have a lot of help, and obviously, you know, with her mom being right there, we've been able to incorporate her into everything that's going on. So it's definitely been a change, but nothing as bad as everybody made it sound like, for sure. It's been great.
Well, obviously, congratulations on behalf of everybody at NASCAR. Certainly the hardest but most rewarding job you'll ever do. So
yes, it was definitely the most rewarding thing. That was the best moment I've ever got to experience in my life. So it was pretty neat.
Not much will top it. Well, we'll get to going on the track stuff again. Kevin currently sits sixth in points. Just talk a little bit about competition-wise being at New Hampshire this weekend.
Yeah, you know, it's nice to come to the racetrack now, to be honest with you. You know, over the last few weeks, you know, the anxiety of just everything that was obviously going to happen with having a baby, and knowing that everything's settled at home and everybody's healthy, that was the part that I was worried about the most. But definitely the most relaxed that I've been able to be in weeks coming to the racetrack. And you know, I think as we get to the track this week, everybody's excited that we don't have anything to worry about it except the race cars, and no backup drivers or situations that could pop up. So it's good to come to the track. Obviously, this is a place that Shane and his guys you know, have had a lot of success at. We've been fortunate to run well here as well in the past. So we just looking forward to getting on the racetrack, and should be a good weekend.
Okay, we'll take our first question from Steve, then come back over to Mike.
I want to know if there's a story behind the story, as far the fact that Keelan has his own Twitter page.
Well, Keelan has his own everything, because I didn't want some crazy-ass fan getting a hold of his Twitter name or his website, and so he has everything that you could imagine from top to bottom, just as more of a personal security, peace of mind than anything. But that's really the only reason.
So he has a web page as well?
We own them all.
Oh, you own them?
He doesn't have one nor need one, but you know.
Oh, he will.
More of just kind of protecting him than anything.
Okay, go ahead with your question, Mike, right behind you.
MikeHembrySpeed.com. But is there a go-kart yet?
We're hoping for no go-karts. We're hoping for golf clubs. We're hoping that we go in a different direction there.
Good plan.
But whatever he wants to do.
You're kind of in a funny situation where you're almost certainly in the chase, but I'm sure you're not really exactly where you want to be, with still looking for the first win. How do you approach these summer races knowing that you're kind of in the middle there?
Yeah, I think you approach them just like you would any other week. You know, if we were in the chase or it was the first race of the year, you're going to go out and you're going to try to get the best finish that you can. And obviously, you know, you don't want to take any huge risk at this point, being that there's 7 or 8 weeks left to go. So, but really, you know, for us, it's last week's kind of been the story of kind of the first part of this year for us. You know, I'm going to turn 3 thinking that we have that we're going to come out of turn 4 with a chance to probably win the race, to wad it up in a mess there. So it's just been one of those deals where, you know, we've been in position to win a few races. We've made a lot of mistakes, and you know, we hadn't caught the breaks that we need to. But you know, last year we caught a lot of breaks, and you know, that stuff just goes in cycles. So you just ride it out, and you try to keep putting yourself in position, and you know, the tide turns at some point.
Okay, we'll take one from Bob, then go over to Joe.
Bob Hocker, Sporting News. What was your reaction to Allmendinger's suspension? Were you surprised NASCAR took somebody out of the car just a few hours before the race? And do you check with NASCAR at all about anything you might be taking?
Well, we've been busy this week, Bob, but so I haven't had a huge chance to kind of keep up with where that has all progressed to. But obviously, I know the situation that you're referring to last week at the track, and the timing. Obviously, I don't necessarily understand 100% the timing of why that takes so long, and seemed like an odd situation to be right before the race. But I think as we go through the next weeks, and obviously I think there's a B test that's going to happen, correct? I really want to wait and just kind of see all the facts and really understand exactly where everything's at. But the timing did seem unique to be honest with you, for the team and everybody to react. So, but obviously that's all handled from an outside company, and you hate to see all that happen, and hopefully it's something that can be explained to everybody, so we know if there's something that's out of bounds that is something from over the counter, or if it was something that is just pretty obvious. So we'll just wait and see all the facts as they come out.
Okay, we'll take our next question from Joe.
Joe Manzer, NASCAR.com. Was it hard as the weeks kind of piled up to stay focused and, worrying about Delana and everything? Did you find that more and more difficult, and is there kind of a visible sense of relief? You talked a little bit about it.
Oh, yeah, there's a huge sense of relief. And all of you that have had kids, there's just that anxiety of, as you get closer, of just wanting to, you just want to know, is everybody going to be good? There's just those thoughts in your mind of all the things that could go wrong. And as the weeks built up, really Sonoma was the first time that it actually hit me, just for the fact that, we had Mayhew there just in case something happened. And as we went through the next weeks, that's really, you just couldn't get it out of your mind. So it's definitely a huge sense of relief to be able to come to the track and everybody's smiling and healthy, and that makes me feel a lot better.
Okay, go ahead, Jim.
Jim Utter, Charlotte Observer. Kevin, when people talk about Jimmy Johnson and his 5 straight championships, a lot of people often say we might never see that again. Your teammate Jeff Burton in 2000 in the fall led every single lap in this race. And before that, I think it was 22 years before somebody had done that, and nobody's done it since. Is that another thing with all the stuff that goes on today in races that we may never see again?
Well, I think as you look at sports, it'll happen again at some point. It's just, it might not be in our lifetime, but, I think all records are going to be, at some point at least matched or broken. And I think, but that's one of those, especially in today's day and age, it'd be very difficult with the restarts and, the way that the strategies play out at a lot of these tracks to do that. So it's definitely a record that's a pretty good one, and obviously you're not going to break it. You might tie it, but you're not going to break it.
Go ahead, Kurt.
Kurt Cavan, Indianapolis Star. You know the team ownership game as a driver. What are some of the headaches that you think Stewart kind of goes through? I know he has good people, but he's got to have some headaches that go on during the course of the week, and really race weekends that maybe we don't see from this side.
Yeah. We would need a lot longer to sit and talk about this one. Because there's a lot of headaches that come with it as you go through. It's just like last week, and we'll use the 22 car as an example. As a team owner, you expect your drivers to be the last people that you would get a phone call from from NASCAR saying your driver's out, you can't drive. But that stuff happens a lot more with the crew guys than it does the drivers. So you're constantly having to deal with situations like that, and it could be somebody falling down and breaking their arm. There's just constantly stuff like that happens, and if the cars aren't running good, or you have somebody get into an altercation at night, or whatever the case may be, it just never ends. It's a constant hassle. Obviously, I think Tony approaches it a little bit different than what I did. He has a lot more people around him that are, he's a little more hands-off You know, he's still in it, but he's a little more hands off than we were. We were involved in every situation, and then that might be right, might be wrong, but it's definitely a lot better not having to deal with any of it.